Hey everyone. Welcome back to the Soul Harmony channel, hope you're all doing amazing today. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share.
Fog smothers Duskveil Street, an ethereal blanket clinging to the cobblestones. Silent Éclipse Opera House looms in the distance, a gothic silhouette against the night. Streetlights cast an eerie, orange glow, reflecting the city's murky secrets. The wet cobblestones shimmer, mirroring the spectral lights above. Inside Liora's dimly lit apartment, a single desk lamp illuminates her intense focus over maps and articles. Liora Hale, 22, hunches over the table, her silhouette framed by the stark light. The walls form a chaotic collage: photographs, clippings, notes, a web of red string connecting each piece. Each item represents a missing person, each string a thread of Liora's relentless quest. The dim light casts long shadows, hinting at the darkness Liora confronts in her pursuit. The scene is a testament to Liora's determination, a stark portrait of obsession in the quiet night. The opera house, Silent Éclipse, looms silently against the dark sky. Liora stands before it, a lone figure in the night. The beam of her flashlight slices through the darkness. The light dances across the imposing facade. Another case. Another night, Liora murmurs, her voice echoing slightly. "Let's see who's hiding here," she declares, stepping forward. The heavy doors of Silent Éclipse groan open, as if by unseen hands, revealing a decaying foyer bathed in ghostly moonlight. Dust motes swirl in the faint light, illuminating the peeling wallpaper and threadbare rugs of the once grand foyer. Decay permeates every corner, the scent of old velvet mingling with the acrid smell of burnt wood. Liora steps cautiously across the threshold, her figure a stark contrast against the backdrop of faded grandeur. The air hangs heavy and still, a palpable sense of abandonment and forgotten memories. Moonlight streams through the grimy windows, casting long, eerie shadows that dance across the decaying walls. Darkness swallows rows of torn seats in the desolate theater. The air hangs heavy with the ghosts of forgotten performances. The stage curtain droops, a tapestry of decay, its threads unraveling like lost stories. Liora's determined figure cuts through the gloom, her recorder a beacon in the silence. The click of the recorder pierces the stillness, capturing the echoes of the abandoned space. Her voice, clear and resolute, breaks the silence. "This is Hale. Time is 11:47 p.m. A step into the unknown," as Liora boldly announces, entering the theater. A lone spotlight cuts through the silent theater, dust motes swirling in the beam, the air heavy with old velvet. A soft voice echoes, breaking the silence. "Don't record me." Liora whirls around, her eyes widening, startled by the sudden sound in the empty theater. Maestro Vesper stands in the aisle, his tuxedo rumpled, a dusting of chalk clinging to his aged attire. His silver hair seems to glow faintly in the dim light, a spectral figure amidst forgotten dreams. The grand theater is draped in shadows, with a faint light illuminating the stage. Liora's questioning gaze meets Vesper's theatrical demeanor. Liora asks, "Where are the missing citizens?" Her voice echoes in the silent theater. Vesper, with a dramatic flourish, replies, "Come, I'll show you." An air of mystery hangs heavy as Vesper gestures, promising to reveal the theater's secrets. Vesper guides Liora into the depths of Silent Éclipse, the backstage area, a labyrinth of shadows and secrets. They descend a rusted staircase, the metal groaning underfoot, each step echoing the weight of untold stories. Faint strains of music, violins, cellos, and soft humming drift upwards, a siren's call from the stage above. The air grows thick with anticipation, a symphony of hushed whispers and the promise of dramatic revelations. Liora gasps, peering into the dim underground orchestra pit, an unsettling tableau unfolding before her eyes. Dozens of musicians sit rigidly in rows, their instruments gleaming softly in the muted light. Their skin is pale, almost translucent, giving them an ethereal, otherworldly appearance. Wide, unblinking eyes stare blankly ahead, hinting at a deeper, more sinister secret. The musicians' movements are stiff and mechanical, like wind-up dolls poised to perform. A silent, eerie anticipation fills the air as the orchestra prepares to play its haunting melody. Liora stumbles back, her eyes wide with disbelief in the dim, cavernous underground orchestra pit. Her face is a mask of pure horror as she surveys the scene. "These aren't real," Liora whispers, her voice trembling in the echoing space. Vesper's dark eyes glint with pride amidst the shadows. A cold, satisfied smile plays on her lips as she observes Liora's reaction. "They are very real. I preserved them," Vesper declares, the words hanging heavy in the air. In the dim, underground orchestra pit of Silent Éclipse, faces flicker in the gloom, etched with untold stories. The air hangs heavy, a palpable mix of dust, shadows, and unspoken regrets permeating the subterranean space. Liora's voice pierces the silence, accusing and sharp. "You killed them." Vesper's gaze hardens, a chilling justification forming on her lips. "I freed them," Vesper replies, her words echoing in the confined space. "People come here burdened. I give them eternal purpose," Vesper declares, her eyes gleaming with dark conviction. In the corridor of La Éclipse, silence shatters as a haunting melody drifts from the depths of the hall. Voices rise in chilling harmony, an ethereal chorus that seems to emanate from the very walls. Vesper pauses, a knowing look in her eyes as the music swells, filling the corridor with its spectral presence. "Ah, the choir is waking," Vesper says, her voice soft against the rising tide of the haunting song. Vesper leads Liora through the unending corridor, the silence broken only by their footsteps. Cracked portraits of forgotten performers line the walls, their faded eyes seeming to follow Liora. Each step deeper into La Éclipse intensifies the unsettling atmosphere. A palpable sense of dread. The air grows heavy with the weight of untold stories and secrets best left undisturbed. In La Éclipse's choir room, figures hang from the ceiling, suspended like macabre marionettes by thick silk ribbons. Their mouths slack, eyes hollow, they sway in eerie unison, a silent dance of death. A haunting melody fills the room, an ethereal chorus sung by the suspended figures. The silk ribbons tether them, binding them to a ghastly performance under the dim light. Each figure contributes to the chilling harmony, their voices echoing in the vast, silent space. In the choir room of La Éclipse, Liora's knees buckle, the cold stone a stark contrast to her rising panic. Her voice trembles, fear lacing every word as she confronts Vesper. "What did you do to them?" Vesper's eyes gleam with dark satisfaction. Vesper speaks, her voice resonating with morbid pride. "They wanted to be remembered." A chilling revelation hangs in the air, thick with dread. Vesper's final words echo, sealing their fate. Here, they become eternal art. In the choir room of La Éclipse, Liora's hand trembles as she reaches for her phone, ready to dial the police. The sharp tap of Vesper's baton echoes, a stark command cutting through the night's tension. The choir's harmonious voices abruptly fall silent, leaving a void filled with unease. Silence descends as the last notes fade, replaced by a palpable sense of foreboding. Every head in the room turns as one, a silent, synchronized motion, locking on to Liora. Dread pools in Liora's stomach as dozens of eyes fixate on her, a silent, accusatory gaze. Liora sprints through the corridor of La Éclipse, her breath catching in her throat. Behind her, the sharp twang of breaking strings echoes ominously in the narrow space. Marionettes crash to the floor, their painted faces grotesque in the dim light. With stiff, unnatural movements, they crawl after Liora, a silent, relentless pursuit. The rhythmic scraping of wood on the floor grows louder, a terrifying symphony of pursuit. She bursts into the grand hall of La Éclipse, the theater's ornate details now a backdrop to a surreal drama. The theater seats are filled, row upon row, with an audience unlike any other. Every missing citizen is present, seated perfectly still, creating an eerie tableau. Their collective gaze is fixed, an unsettling sea of eyes all directed towards her. A silent, motionless crowd stares, their stillness amplifying the scene's tension. The air is thick with unspoken questions as she stands before the assembled silent figures. Dim light barely pierces the grand theater as dust motes dance in the stillness, an eerie silence enveloping the ornate space. High on the balcony, a lone figure watches over the empty seats, a silent guardian in the echoing darkness. A voice echoes through the theater, cutting through the silence with haunting clarity. "Liora, hail," the voice calls out, a promise and a threat intertwined. "You came here for answers, but the truth has a price." Liora races through the grand theater, her breath catching in her throat as she sprints towards the exit. The massive front doors crash shut with a deafening boom, sealing her fate within the opulent prison. High above, Vesper emerges on the balcony, his figure a dark silhouette against the ornate backdrop. He raises his baton, a symbol of control and impending doom, a sinister glint in his eyes. His voice echoes through the theater, a chilling promise hanging in the air. He will make an excellent soloist. Liora is trapped, her escape thwarted, as Vesper's shadow looms over her, the theater now a stage for his dark symphony. In the desolate theater of La Éclipse, Liora's scream shatters the silence, a desperate cry swallowed by the darkness. Ghostly hands erupt from the shadows, their spectral fingers reaching out to ensnare her ankles. Panic floods Liora as she claws at the floor, her fingers scraping against the cold, dusty surface. Desperation fuels her struggle as she lunges for her recorder, a lifeline in the encroaching darkness. The theater echoes with her terror, the shadows deepening as unseen forces close in. In the theater, she smashes the recorder, the action echoing with raw emotion and defiance. A piercing feedback screech erupts, tearing through the silence and amplifying the chaos. The dead shriek, their forms collapsing as the sound overwhelms them. Vesper staggers, clutching his ears as the intense sound wave assaults his senses. Liora's eyes blaze with fierce resolve as she grips a heavy iron rod, the fate of a theater hanging in her determined stance. With a grunt, she swings, the iron connecting with a sickening thud against the rope suspending the chandelier. The rope frays, snaps, and the glittering monstrosity begins its deadly descent. A rain of glass threatening below. The chandelier crashes, a deafening roar as splinters and debris explode, marking a point of no return. Liora races through the backstage chaos, her eyes fixed on the emergency exit. The building groans under a violent tremor, threatening to collapse. Dust billows down like a shroud, obscuring the path ahead. Suddenly, flames erupt from the ancient floorboards, hungry and unpredictable. Liora stumbles, the heat searing her skin as she fights her way forward. The exit looms, a beacon of hope amidst the inferno. Liora bursts through the exit, the night air cold against her skin. A monstrous roar erupts behind her. As Silent Éclipse begins to crumble, its elegant facade cracking, the opera house implodes, a horrifying spectacle of destruction and chaos. Inferno rages within, swallowing Maestro Vesper and his undead orchestra in a fiery grave. Debris rains down as the night sky is illuminated by the catastrophic collapse.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share.